Happy New Year, guys. It is now 2024 and today is January 1st. So no, I did not film this in advance, but I have figured out my goals and aspirations for this upcoming year. So we're going to go over that. It's thankfully much simpler than I've done at least the past 2 years. In 2022, I did 22 goals. And I think I completed maybe 11 or 13 of those, which was great for what I had tried to accomplish. But I thought, nah, next year we'll do better. We're going to make something that like contributes to success. And then we ended up not doing 23 of 23, but like a million of 23. It didn't work out as planned because I had like 5 different lists with different things I wanted to accomplish and like 23 audiobooks, plus finishing my 3rd book, plus remastering Kuro Kenshin, my graphic novel, which didn't happen. That's on today's little goal list, actually. But if you want to hear about 2023, you can check out this vlog because that's got all of the like recap and thoughts on it. I just want to start moving ahead into 2024. And even though I did not finish what I wanted to by the end of 2023, and I'm carrying a couple things over, we're going on with a positive energy, okay? So, first of all, let me introduce myself for those of you who don't know who I am, what this all is for Halo Moon Studios. My name is Hala, and I am an author-illustrator who just finished my first trilogy, like first novel trilogy. I've done graphic novels before. I'm actually in the process of reprinting them, so that's one of the big goals this coming year. I am in the budding stages of like my small business, so that is why we are trying to balance out author life with small business life, because they both require 100% of my attention, and I have definitely struggled with how I wanted to approach them over the past couple of years. I actually made a video at the beginning of 2021 when I started my Patreon. Do not have a Patreon anymore, but I was going full force, didn't know anything, didn't know what I was doing, hence it didn't work. And then I just focused on the writing part, figured that out, and then at the end of 23, started really thinking seriously about the small business side. So we got some growth to do, and 2024 is the year of learning. Without further ado, let's look at the goals. So I always like to do a structure or take inspiration from the year for my goals. So since it's 2024, I'm going to have 2 major project goals and 4, let's just call them smaller goals for the sake of this video. My top 2 projects that I most absolutely get done this year, and hopefully by like July. So it's really like a 6-month deadline. If it goes past that, technically that's okay, but I would love to actually get these done by July because of the process of releasing them. So my first large goal is I am reprinting and remastering my graphic novel manga series Kuro Kenshin. I started this in high school and it took me 8 years to get through the 7 existing novels that I have for it right now. But because I wrote it Japanese style, so it went essentially backwards from the way we read in English, I have to flip all the pages. And not only that, there's some other formatting things with the printer that I need to already go page by page. So I was like, why don't I tidy up that first volume, which was not polished. We're going to polish it. We're going to polish it so it has at least a more equal quality across all of the pages, all of the volumes. And even though I'm keeping the original line art, I am cleaning up the tones and maybe redrawing a couple things if they were really wonky. And I am extending the ending because I think I rushed the ending initially. So it's getting a nice little remaster for its 10-year anniversary. Yeah, I finished that last volume in 2014. We really want to get that done. That's definitely, if nothing else, a personal passion project. Obviously, it will be nice to add it back into my collection of books that you can get from me, but more or less, I know that it's like my child, my first big baby project. So getting that done is going to be a huge accomplishment for myself. The second one, now the best way to describe this second project is as an activity book. The past couple years, actually, my friend Stephanie and I have run Create-a-thon in September, which is like an online community event where we're encouraging people to be creative in different ways. So you don't have to just like be an artist or be a writer. You can do crafts, you can do new recipes, like whatever it is. And out of that, we've gained some mascots. So obviously, if I create characters, I'm going to give them stories. And I knew the sort of origin of how all these mascots came together. And then I also wanted to create something for the Create-a-thon event that wasn't like you have to know the event and do the event to understand it. So I wanted it to be a bit more broad for audience purposes. So the activity book is going to have kind of like comic style story in it, interspaced with, or interlaced, interwoven with, you know, following different mascots and doing essentially like word puzzles, like crosswords, word searches, mazes, fun stuff that like kids get to do. And it's like, well, I want everyone to be able to do this. So gonna be different skill levels in there, but it'll be a nice little activity book that you can do anytime. You get to learn about the mascots, and it'll also tie into our Create-a-thon event. So I really, really want to get that one done by July so I can place orders. Possibly, like, I would love to attempt a Kickstarter with it because I would love to do like the little extras, like an actual notepad that the character would have, or, you know, different kinds of stickers or buttons, patches, pins. Like, brainstorming is in process, but I think that would be something fun to do as my first Kickstarter. And it's like, they're adorable little characters, so the more the merrier. So those are my two big projects. Like, I need to be working on one or the other every day if I'm going to finish them by July. Obviously, I'm kind of starting this year off very differently in the sense that I'm going on vacation at the end of this month. So my brain is like gung-ho, and at the same time, like, but vacation's coming up and I am distracted. So it's going to be tight, but I do have the whole year. I always do a mid-year update in July because that's like where my birthday is. And I usually feel like either changing things or adding on more goals. So this is just to get us to July 2024 part 1. And that's the two big major ones. The 4 smaller ones, I'm not worried about finishing by July. Like, even if they're done in the second half of the year, as long as they're done, that'd be great. Which those 4 are, the first one being read 24 books. And I do include audiobooks in this as well. Here's the current list of the books that I picked out. And you'll notice that most of them are Twisted Tales, because last year I had the goal of rereading all of the Twisted Tale books and doing individual reviews for each one. So when I went in and re-ranked them, now that there are 4 or 5, technically 6 or 7 out since I did my ranking video, I wanted to have an easier reference for when I re-rank them. I didn't get a lot done. I was definitely focused on other things last year. So that project has carried over into this year. So that first smaller project or smaller goal is reading 24 books in general and finishing my individual reviews of the Twisted Tale books. The third one is to write 100,000 words over the course of the year. Right now, I'm not threatened by it because when I'm in drafting mode, like, all of my books have gone over 100, but I'll usually write 70 to 80 in draft 1. And I'm letting myself kind of, if I feel like it, dance between projects just to get the word count in, because I do have at least 3 books I could start right now. Yes, 100,000 words shouldn't be an issue, especially with, I do want to do April Camp Nano. I don't want to do July because that's my birthday month. I don't want to be inside writing. I want to be out in the sun doing stuff for my birthday. So I do want to do April Camp Nano and NaNoWriMo next year. So between those and then just getting like words in each month, I think it should be an achievable goal. And the fourth goal on this mini goal, small goal list is to like follow a tutorial or learn something new each month. So that way I'm not feeling too daunted by having to do it like every week, but especially with getting back into more illustration and trying to figure out like how the heck did they make it look that way, or you know, maybe some animation techniques or even a recipe. Like I feel like a lot of my time last year looking back when it was my downtime went into not just to say non-productive, but like useless information. So I definitely want to spend more time how-to videos, tutorials, I don't know if we'll try Skillshare or not, but like skill-based improvement stuff. So doing at least one tutorial a month, even if it's a 30-minute drawing tutorial, that counts. That's how we're gonna just measure it this year so far. So I'm trying to stay very minimal. That way I can put the most effort and work efficiently and put quality work into what I'm doing, instead of what I did in 2023, which y'all know, if you've been around, was a mistake. Did I get a lot done? Yeah. No regrets. 2023 was not my favorite year. It wasn't terrible. The fact that I finished my trilogy was fantastic. That I am now able to make my own sticker sheets and have these wonderful mascots is amazing. And the community is stronger. The consistency, especially with like Creative Commons and things in my like outside studio life, like working out and stuff, has really been good. Which I obviously do have a couple goals like outside of the studio, but I'm not going to talk about them here like specifically or like keep track of them here, because they are mostly like either workout or stretching and flexibility related. So it's not quite the Halo Moon Studio stuff you probably came here for, but I will attempt to document that on one of my TikTok channels, since one is studio and one is like life stuff. Just, you know, stuff on the side. So I'm busy. I'm gonna be busy. Those are my goals for this year. Hoping that by finishing Kuro Kenshin and getting that activity book out, not only have I like taken a weight off my shoulder by having my backlog available again, because not having Kuro Kenshin out when people are actually getting into reading manga and stuff again was kind of like, ooh, I think you'd really like this more action-y series, but it's not ready. It's not ready. So having that done, the activity book will really, I think, broaden my audience. Even if it's just like a one-off thing, I would love to just kind of reach more people with our adorable little mascots, and they may or may not have an interest in Create-a-thon. That'd be cool too. And then obviously the little goals will make more progress towards kind of cleaning my slate, because as soon as these projects are done, the balance between author life and small studio business life is going to be a lot more even, I believe. So we'll have to see where we get, especially in the mid-year update in July. There will be vlogs. There will be other videos. I'm trying to also be a little bit better at that, but I'm not making it a goal if I can't like maintain every week. So there will be videos, but every Monday, with the exception of my vacation and like I'm sick or something, at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have Creative Commons, where we hang out, but we also do productivity sprints. So you don't have to do something creative. You can go do laundry. That's fine. Feel free to join us, hang out, get to know some cool people. And when we're not hanging out on Creative Commons on Mondays, you can also check us out on QWERTY's channel on Friday evenings. And lastly, you guys can also check in with some of my updates on my Ko-fi page, which is linked in the description. It's ko-fi.com/HaloMoonStudios, where I'm trying to do better about like actually posting what I'm doing and using it similar to Patreon, where I give you guys behind the scenes updates, which all my books are on that shop as well if you are interested about them. Feel free to leave a comment below. And if you'd like notifications about Creative Commons, you can hit the bell thing. I know they changed the bell thing, so like if you don't actually hit the bell and tell it to notify you, it won't. So do what you gotta do, guys. We're gonna be here every Monday, but I'll see you in the next video.